Look at the brand new menu screen. Hello everybody, welcome back to a brand new episode of iRacing NASCAR AI career mode here on the channel. Hope you're all having a great day. We got a brand new menu screen actually, kind of gives it more of a video game feel. This is made by Caleb Hoffman. A big shout out to him. We are starting though today's episode with an event. Let's see what it could be. I said it last episode, a new manufacturer is on the way, and it's Dodge. Dodge on this Kentucky Speedway weekend announces their return to NASCAR Cup Series competition after departing from the Cup Series at the end of the 2012 season after Brad Keselowski and Penske Racing with Dodge won them a championship in the top level of NASCAR. But Dodge is back for next season. It is official. Who will they be with? Well, Brad Keselowski. Maybe keep an eye on what his plans are for 2023. But nonetheless, focusing on the kind of main thing this weekend aside from Dodge has come back. You saw the Charger. None of that would be possible without the help of Jason Furkerin. I hope I didn't pronounce his name wrong, but he's on Trading Paints, and he actually sent me the templates. He made the Dodge as well. There's other potential manufacturers on the way, but you're going to see his logo on all the new manufacturer cars that you see in the future. A massive shout out to him. Unfortunately, we didn't get to qualify this weekend here in Kentucky. We actually had a bunch of rain, and it was supposed to be a night race, but we ended up actually getting a rain postponement as well, and it would end up a day race on Monday. So we're going to head to Monday, send it over to Alan Bailey, where we start based off of our practice times.
NASCAR is at the site of Cole Custer's only victory in the Cup Series, Kentucky Speedway in Sparta, Kentucky. I'm Alan Bailey with live coverage on ARN. That's right, NASCAR's been racing here for about 10 years, give or take, and the story of the day should be the race. But instead, Dodge has stolen the spotlight, announcing that they're back for the 2024 season after last racing in the Cup Series with Penske in 2012. That's the season they won the title, and they're expecting to do the exact same in 2024. No teams have announced that they'll be joining Dodge for 2024 yet, but Dodge themselves say that they already have a powerhouse team that they're talking with. 100,000 fans are here today, hopefully. Will we see a good race, or will this be the race that puts the nail in the coffin for Kentucky Speedway? Let's find out.
It is that time. We're ready to go green. Practice time set the grid here on this Monday afternoon, as it's going to be actually Chris Buescher in the 17 leading the field to the green flag, and we're going to be back underway here from Kentucky Speedway with some actual racing now. As you saw the stages, it's the usual mile and a half, a 75 lap race where we have a caution at the end of lap 18 for stage 1, the end of lap 40 for stage 2, then we go through stage 3 leading us to lap 75, and as well potential AI stupidity with the strategy always mixed in, especially at the mile and a half races I've noticed. So nonetheless, this is one of the tracks that of course that are on the schedule that are not in the real life schedule, so I was very curious to see what the racing was actually going to be like, and it has its moments here in Kentucky. I can tell you right now, based off of my experience here in Kentucky with recording, this is one of those tracks that's not going to be on the schedule in 2023. However, we will see what kind of replacement we can get for it. Maybe by the time we get to 2023's season, we can actually have the track that this is supposed to be, but nonetheless, we'll wait and see on that. You can see myself, the 3 wide in the middle in this brand new Castrol paint scheme as well. I'll put that down in the description if you guys want to run that in the Trading Paints. So very cool paint scheme. It was actually made by Aiden Shreen. You've seen him run, or you've seen me run one of his liveries before that he made for this 21 car, the NZXT black and purple car that will be on the episode, or on the car, multiple episodes still this season. Here now, lap 4, bit of a run in there between Ross Chastain and rookie there for Colleague Racing, Jay Cook, but fortunately they get that sorted out, but I was able to continue to the outside and gain a good chunk of momentum here down this front straightaway across the line, and we're slowly moving up our way through this grid up into P20. So as well as you can see in front of us, you got Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Kurt Busch in that Monster Energy, number 45, your Bristol Motor Speedway winner after a wild Bristol earlier in the season. If you guys remember back to then, we saw so many accidents in in that race. Strategy chaos, it was insane. Now, as you continue to watch myself, though, move our way forwards. We're coming off a lot of momentum. Ryan Blaney picking up his first win last episode in Sonoma, but we had a runner-up finish. We had a runner-up in Talladega. We've been getting some very lucky finishes lately. Like Sonoma, we probably wouldn't even have been top 10 if things didn't play out in our favor, but this has been a kind of a trend lately, so we're going to continue to try and take advantage here today. You can see myself with an aggressive 3-wide move there out the inside of Keselowski, as well as that 38 of Todd Gilliland, fellow rookie. And Gilliland's actually been outrunning his teammate Michael McDowell all season long so far. He's having a fantastic rookie season, along with myself as well as Austin Cindric. 3 of us rookies are doing really good, and all are in playoff contention. Cindric and myself currently in the playoffs, as well. Jay Cook, though, the 4th rookie, having a pretty miserable season here as we come through late in stage 1. Unfortunately, we had hit that point at the 1.5 mile where I had found out if I had worn my tires or not too much, and unfortunately I very much so wore my tires out way too much, and I was basically limping around on this final lap. Fortunately, we had built up enough of a gap in stage 1 that I only lost 1 spot on this coming to the final lap to Chase Elliott, so we were down to in the mid-teens, of course, trying to hold off now Todd Gilliland in that number 38. And we, of course, set the starting grid based off of practice times, and Chris Buescher, he has put up the race times as well. He is coming through to cruise to a stage 1 victory, looking for his first win of the season, his first win since, 2016 he's looking for as well. See the rest of the top 10 crossing the line, with Brad Keselowski getting your final point in the stage, and everybody thankfully comes into the pit lane. I always love when you see all the AI come into the pits and not see the top, 8, 9, 10 cars stay out, and then everybody else pits, and then it turns into full-blown chaos. But obviously you got to expect that at some point throughout this 1.5 mile circuit now. But it was a 4-tire pit stop, no adjustments actually, because I was pretty happy with the car. I felt like I was actually in pretty good shape. It just was down to me saving tires a little bit better, especially on that right front. But we exit the pit lane, and as usual, our pit stop was pretty good. Our pit crew got us some good time, and we gained some ground going in for this restart for stage 2. We were ready to go back racing here. However, everybody's going to kind of get caught sleeping by the 17 of Chris Buescher. Look at this. He's gone. Says, see you later. Buescher is taking off, and he has already got like a 3/4 of a second lead by the time he's going to go down into turn 1. Absolutely insane margin he has put between himself and now second place, actually, of Justin Haley in that number 31, who's already dropping the ball, falling backwards now as we head down this back straightaway to the back bumper of the number 3 of Austin Dillon. You got our Alliance teammate and rookie battle of the year, rookie of the year battler, Austin Cindric there in the number 2 car. Him and I not far apart there, nearly contact with the 6 of Keselowski. I got a little bit out of shape, got up the track there as we come through down this run straightaway. We were pretty dead even down into turn 1, and we would get clear of Keselowski. Again, I'm loose on the exit of turn 4. I didn't adjust anything in this car, but dealing with some handling issues early on in stage 2. Here goes Martin Truex Jr. now to my outside as we started lap 24, so a few laps now into the second stage, and not a great start to the stage, and not a great start to the stage maybe for the 38 of Todd Gilliland. A huge hit there into the outside wall. He's going to go crashing into traffic. Kurt Busch with a big impact. The caution is going to fly in Kentucky in stage 2. Major damage to the front, right front of the 45 of Kurt Busch. I think he actually is going to be the one that takes the biggest hit here. The 38 didn't break any toe links or anything, but Kurt Busch's right front toe link was absolutely KO'd, and he was going to be done for the majority of the day, and we would settle things down and get ready now for a restart. But obviously damage done to Kurt Busch and Todd Gilliland, who was having a solid day, and we were just talking about the season he was having. A very solid season so far for Todd Gilliland compared to his real life season, which wasn't bad, but it was an average season for a rookie. Now back underway, however, and you can see us closing in on the back of the Dillon brothers, actually, who are both side by side, but I'm going to choose Austin to work with here down the SPAC straightaway side by side with the 42 petty GMS driver of Ty Dillon. Will he return to that 42 next season in real life in 2023? Obviously that is a no, so therefore he's not going to be in that car next season either. We will have Noah Gregson in that car as bunch of the 2023 changes that you see in this career mode are going to replicate real life, as you can actually see myself get into the outside wall right there on lap 28. But there will be, of course, a few fantasy changes like we already have announced today. Dodge is coming back. We know Almirola is not coming back in this career mode, which in real life he decided to, so we'll see who replaces him, as well as we would continue to work our way forward again here. Lap 29 up the inside after a little bit of contact there with the 42, but we are going to complete the pass. Chase Elliott just behind myself, and this was a pass that put us up at a P11, so still having a very solid day here in Kentucky. What a turnaround this season has been. We have been able to put up results. We've had a lot of lucky results lately that have put us inside the playoffs after a really rough start to the season, and now it's just up to myself to find that consistency. And you can see right here, though, lap 37, we only had 4 laps to go on the stage, and unfortunately I was starting to lose that right front tire again as Kevin Harvick would get up my inside. So I was thinking about doing adjustments this time, because once again I was plowing tight here on the exit of turn 2. Harvick's going to get past me. Drag race with Elliott briefly, but it wasn't long until he was clear a corner later. And then we had William Byron in the Raptor car, the 12 of Ryan Blaney in the Menards Ford Mustang that were all over us. Now Blaney would get past Byron. He would pass me to start the final lap of the stage. Byron would get to my inside here on the exit of turn 2, down this back straightaway. Up front again, Chris Buescher sweeps both stages. Daniel Suarez did lead some laps, but unfortunately he was not able to win the stage, and coming to cross the line for the final stage point was the 3 of Austin Dillon. Fortunately, I was able to hold off that 24 of William Byron, but no stage points at all today for us. And there you see it. Everybody in the top 11 remains on the racetrack. 12th place on back elects to come in. We knew it was going to happen at some point as we were ready to settle down and get ready to go green for stage 3. Before we get ready for stage 3, just a quick shout out to Davis Warren, as usual, giving me this collection to work with that replicates the real life paint schemes that were used throughout the season. This one obviously is not from Kentucky, but still a collection used from him. Kentucky not on the real life schedule, but links down below. You can check out Davis's collections in trading paints from multiple eras of the NASCAR Cup Series, as well as some contact info if you want some tickets to select races, which will be down below as well. Here now as we are back ready to go racing here in stage 3. Chris Buescher, Daniel Suarez, 2 drivers winless on the season, both in the playoff bubble area right now. So let's see if one of those drivers can win today. It's very unlikely because the top 11, they all stayed on the racetrack. So I think in reality those guys have no chance. It's really a race between Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott, myself, Ross Chastain. Which one of us 4 can get through the traffic the quickest? We have Cody Ware right on my door there, trying to pull me backwards. You saw the 42 of Ty Dillon get a little bit out of shape right there. Chastain's trying to work his way around the 78 as well as we head down this front straightaway, but a bunch of just kind of compacted racing right here. Everything was so clumped up, and you see Blaney, he's making passes. I'm trying to stick with him 3 wide through the middle, slicing through, but not quite slicing like Blaney is. He's slicing and dicing, and I cannot even slice bread on a Saturday afternoon without assistance sometimes. But now here we are coming out of turn 4, getting through the inside and the outside of the 34 and the 14 through the middle, and we continue following, but unfortunately it wasn't enough. Ryan Blaney was long gone, and you can see Chase Elliott got to my door when I got planted right here behind the 6 of Brad Keselowski. So we lose the spot to Elliott there, and then we had Byron, we had Chastain following us. I would get past Keselowski, still be able to be within range of Elliott, but you can see now there's some more damage right there. The one of Chastain's going to go up my inside passes. We get past Haley, we hold off Byron for the time being. Ryan Blaney, though, last episode winner's first win of the season in 2022, while he was continuing to put himself in position to win 2 races in a row, as he's going to go up the inside of the 17 with these fresh tires, take the lead of the race. Chase Elliott trying to move up into 3rd place, passing Daniel Suarez. I think Elliott might have a faster car than Ryan Blaney, so this might not be over yet with 25 laps to go. But aside from the accident we saw earlier in stage 2, it's been a relatively calm race here in Kentucky, so I was kind of expecting a green flag to the end kind of deal here in Kentucky. I also thought we were going to get that in Sonoma, but that didn't happen. Here you can see Alex Bowman making a pass on me, but now here we are 3 wide down the back straightaway, going up the inside of Daniel Suarez, but Suarez, he decides he's going to make it a little bit difficult for myself and pin me right down. I can barely tap the gas pedal when I'm pinned down like this from an AI. Bowman's going to cruise by us both on the outside, and we continue side by side with the 99 of Suarez down this front straightaway. He is not being friendly, but but I don't blame him. He had a chance here for a top 3 effort, and obviously it all got washed away 20 laps ago now, and things had finally settled in. William Byron behind myself, but we have talked about putting ourselves in position to get some lucky finishes. We've done that again today. We don't have a 5th place car, but we are in P5, and surprisingly, as these laps were counting down, we're starting to reel in this 48 of Alex Bowman. I forgot to make adjustments under the pit stops on the end of stage 2, so it was all about saving my right front, and I had finally done it this stage, and we were starting to reel this 48 car in closer and closer lap after lap. Ryan Blaney still out in front of Elliott by over a second, but Elliott is closing the gap. Does he have enough time? Chastain as well, not far behind, but there you see Ryan Blaney. You see the gap visually right there between himself and that Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet Camaro. Chase Elliott, a lot of work to do if he's going to get there, but don't rule it out. Chastain, 3rd place, having a great season. Of course, Chastain is with a win earlier at Kansas, putting him in the playoffs, and here we are with a great run again today. P5, maybe a P4. Ty Dillon has benefited well. Joey Hand in the 15 doing an oval race in the top 10, and Todd Gilliland has surprisingly well actually been able to rebound after that accident earlier that surprisingly didn't really do much damage to that number 38 car. There you see Kurt Busch. He's on the track, but he is many laps down. He is going to finish dead last here today in Kentucky. There you see Almirola, Briscoe, Harvick all at the back. Those guys are all victims of the strategy disaster at the end of stage 2. Now we are closing right up to that rear bumper of Alex Bowman. We still got 12 laps to go, but it wasn't until about 10 laps ago when I finally get a little bit close enough to make a move here on this Ally Financial Chevrolet. So down this back straightaway into turn 3 of the inside of Alex Bowman here into the corner. Can we make it happen now as we continue to wear that right front out? It gets harder and harder to make passes on this inside. You can see me plowing right there nearly into the quarter panel of Alex Bowman, and it was a struggle here. I was starting to experiment. How do I get around this 48? I was even thinking about going down into 4th gear and seeing if I could get this car to rotate, because we come through to 6 laps ago in the past. It's still not been completed, and fortunately we had put a big gap between ourselves and Byron, so we have time to work with. We can get a little bit experimental here. As you can see, Chase Elliott has closed the gap to Ryan Blaney. Who's going to win between those two drivers? 3 laps ago, again all over the back of this 48. I'm trying, but it's not working here. Now I'm getting so tight. He gets tight there, it looks like, as well, and all of a sudden we're right up on the back of that 48. So down into turn 3, another move up the inside, coming up to the final couple of laps in this race. But again, I just can't get the power down. If I hit the gas too hard, I'm going right into the side of the 48. Nearly do it right there on the exit of turn 4. So he is able to stay ahead again with 2 laps to go. Now coming to start the final lap momentarily, Chase Elliott only a few tenths of a second behind Ryan Blaney, but things are looking good for that number 12, as it has been proven to be very difficult to pass here actually today in Kentucky Speedway. But we're gonna get one more shot now at this 48 of Alex Bowman. It's game on down into turn 1, getting closer and closer, losing a little bit of time there as we head into the entrance of the corner. Throttle up hard on the exit of turn 2. I said screw it, let's put it in the wall and try to continue to keep the speed up. It was like a Ross Chastain knockoff move, and up the inside of Bowman we go into turn 3, sending it slide job at a 1.5 mile style. It's not going to be enough. Bowman crosses us over. Ryan Blaney has won here in Kentucky, as we're going to drag race to the line with the 48 of Alex Bowman side by side. Not going to be enough for myself. We crossed the line there. It's P5 in Kentucky there. It actually got pretty close, by the way, between Ryan Blaney, Chase Elliott. Here's a quick clip actually of the finish between those two.
Off of turn 4, Elliott is going to try one last time, but can't quite get to his buddy. Ryan Blaney will win out of Kentucky. Thank God that snooze fest is over with.
Yeah, like Alan said, that was a pretty lame race. It wasn't that great. We're not going to be coming back to Kentucky anymore. Thankfully, I was able to spice it up a little bit here, other than the one accident that we had earlier in the day. But you see the finishing order on your screen briefly. You'll see the points, and looking at the point standings, Blaney with 2 wins now. He's locked in for sure in the playoffs. We gained a few more points. We're almost 80 points above the cut line now. But, I mean, you look below that, we got a 4-way tie, 4 drivers, 22 points out. But look at all the drivers that are within, 2 stages basically of being in the playoffs in terms of the point amount. So it is gonna get crazy close as we get closer and closer to the playoffs. We're not far away, and we might be almost 80 points to the good, but that's not as safe as it sounds. We have seen how many times I can crash here as a rookie in the NASCAR Cup Series. So unfortunately, we still don't have a Microsoft Flight Simulator clip to kind of send us off. I'm still literally updating the game. It's got about 88 gigabytes remaining in the update, which would take me like 45 minutes with my internet, but in Microsoft Flight Simulator, you have to download it in the game, and it's gonna take like 2 weeks at this rate, so it's gonna be a minute till we have a nice clip to fly away from the track. So unfortunate about that, but in the next one we are going road racing again, Road America. I can already tell you that's a bit of a wild one, and I'll see you guys then. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Have a great day, everybody.